Hi, everybody. I just wanted to kind of go over your assignment for Friday since you can't see our beautiful faces. So the assignment is going to be first watching either the Elements and Principles video or just looking over the PowerPoint, whichever one's easiest for you. I know some people like to do both, so they're both there for your reference. And then you're going to be doing this for the actual thing that you turn in. This is like usually what we do at the beginning of the school year, just to get you used to what's called Elements and Principles statements. An elements and principle statement is when you take your principle and you can physically see like that maybe movement is going on or something like that. And then you identify what element is causing that to happen. So the element is always going to cause the principle to work. And this should help you do that. Should help you write elements of principle statement through finding artwork on the website Colossal. Colossal is a fantastic website and reference for y'all if you ever are wanting to see anything cool and different. As you'll notice, it has all different kinds of categories when you go to it. So if you click right here, this should be a live link. And you can go immediately to Colossal. And there's, always going to be fantastic art, but there's also all of this actual words and things for you to read about the artist and how they make the artwork, things that could really help you in understanding the art better and learning how to do something similar if you are interested. If you go to this more section, it'll give you all kinds of different categories as well. Remember, you're in a 3D art class. So that means we are limiting you to only using 3D art. So things like videos might be cool, but they're not 3D art. That's a 2D dimensional art. But you could do something like ceramics or even going through something like embroidery, maybe collage. You can try some of the other ones and seeing if you can find 3D art there. Like on sculpture, there would definitely be one. Installation is a type of 3D art. There may be some on landscapes and even on glass, maybe street art, things like that. So for instance, if I click on sculpture and it comes up with artwork, I'm going to immediately see some whatever type of artwork that I clicked on. So it's a sculptural artwork. It'll give me the name of the article as well as the author and how they create that artwork. So that's going to be key for you guys when you're filling out the portion for homework. But say you don't like that one or you're just not a big fan of this, you can keep scrolling. You can scroll down to a whole new artist and it'll continue to show you different artwork. So like this one, that's a beautiful sculpture of a panda bear and it really reflects maybe where the panda bear is from. So, find what you like. Don't just settle with what's on the very, very beginning of each page. Okay. And then on your actual PowerPoint, what you'll do is say copy the image. So usually most of you will be able to right click and then copy image. And then you can bring it on over and I'll show you how to fill it out. So this again is going to show you more of the categories you can use. I have them specifically listed. And then also how you're going to fill out each page. So it says at the top, using the individual picture to prompt an ENP. So I will have the element already written out for you. And I will also have the principle already written out for you. And then you have to go find an image that fits those categories on Colossal. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is find the actual artist and the media that is used. So remember, media is one of those categories of things that make great art. So what did the artist actually use to create this sculpture? And then the very last thing is going to be putting them together in a sentence. Remember, so creating an EMP statement means first starting with the principle and talking about how the element creates it. So how does the texture in this artwork create variety? So you can physically see the texture. How does it create the variety? Now, this should be just one sentence, just one. If it's a whole paragraph, you have not done this correctly. It needs to be just one sentence. So the one that I wrote down is Max Hooper. Schneider creates variety through the installation by including multiple different textures. So what I did there is I put the principle first, and I told you where I'm seeing that principle happen in the artwork. And then the next thing I did is I said by including multiple different textures. If I wanted to be even more specific to make an even stronger EMP statement, I could have listed by including multiple different textures, such as the moss and the shinier objects, along with the grassy textures. And that would have worked great. So your turn. When you submit this project, you are allowed to delete the first 5 slides, but you need to keep the other ones just so I can see what you did and did not do. Make sure you have this as your very first slide. And then you'll notice these are your prompts. So you have to find a sculpture that uses both line and movement. Then you need to find the artist, the media they used to create it, and make an EMP statement where the line creates the movement. So making sure that you're making sure that the principle is created by the element. And then this is the same thing, finding an artwork that uses color to create emphasis or value to create contrast, and balance to, space to create balance, form to create patterns. Now remember, a pattern doesn't always have to be perfect. It just has to be a repetition of elements. So in this case, it's going to be a repetition of form. And then you have all these challenges. So notice there's quite a lot of these. So what I want to say is, like, this at the very bottom is your rubric, and please leave this on your slides. This rubric is going to go through how I'll grade it. So it's literally a completion of making sure that you wrote 5 correct EMP statements. It's going to be 5 points. And then also making sure that you have a completion of 5 artists and their media, another 5 points. Making sure that all of your images are inserted, another 5 points. I can't grade you on things I can't see, so please make sure that you include the artworks you're talking about. But then you also have to do 5 of these challenges. So there's a lot more than 5. You don't have to do all of them, but there are things like find an artwork and make as many EMP statements as possible for one sculpture. And then the next one says, find a 3D artwork with symbols of emotion and identify them. So these are all going to be different. Some of them are more EMP inclined, and some of them are more just getting to know what you can do with sculpture. So make sure you do 5 of them. You will also notice there is this little bit down at the bottom. So if you do complete all 8 of the challenges, you get 3 extra credit points. Now, I definitely would make sure, if you have time, please make sure you do this. We don't give extra credit very often in this class, and it's going to be probably important considering how much e-learning that we're going to be doing. So it's probably a good idea. If you have any questions, you have me and Miss O'Neill and Mrs. Messmore's email. So if you have, again, any questions at all, or you're confused about anything, either watch through the video again first or shoot us an email. Thank you, guys.